Hey there, welcome to Your Leader Journey. This is Andrew. Today, I want to talk with you about 6 tips to help you hold your team accountable to performance. The first of those 6 is you've got to set clear expectations up front. And what this really means is you can't expect someone to deliver on performance for you if they don't have clarity of what it is you actually want. So as you go into a conversation with an employee or a vendor, whoever it might be, you need to be really clear and say, this is what I'm hoping that you're going to accomplish. This is when I'd like you to accomplish it. This is the budget that I'd like you to map to. Things like that, so that there's no surprises. There's no mistaking what it is you want them to do. And the second, which is related to this, is clarifying those expectations. So, for example, you might say, this is the goal, but you may have 3 or 4 different things that you need that employee or that person to do between when they begin and when they complete that task. And if you aren't clear about those things, your expectations and their assumptions probably aren't going to align, and you're gonna end up with mixed expectations. You're gonna be frustrated, maybe upset about that. So be really clear about the expectations you have. And I like to also just ask my people, hey, I've given you this set of expectations. Do you understand them? Is there anything you have questions about? Anything you don't understand that we need to dig further into? Things like that, so that you give them an opportunity to poke holes in what you've said and to ask any kind of questions that help them clarify in their own mind what you might need. The third in this framework is coaching in the moment. So don't delay or wait to give feedback until someone's finished with a project. That is a really easy way for, again, kind of misaligned expectations and unmet hopes and desires to come about, and it causes a lot of frustration. So I prefer, as someone's going through a project, to have set check-in opportunities throughout the project, so that we can say, okay, are you on track for what we expected? Where are you off track? Where are you stuck? What other things might you need help with? And then for me to be able to say, hey, I noticed that you're going down this direction. My recommendation would be you make a change and you go this way instead. Or, hey, I think you're doing great. You're right on track for what I expected. And giving them positive feedback as well. The fourth is be present as a guide and support for your team, but not as a dictator. And really the importance here is, when you've got great people on your team, when you've given them clear expectations and a clear goal, you've coached them in the moment, your role at that point is to be there as a resource when they need you, and to let them tap into you, but not to be overbearing and tell them what to do at every step. So you want to make sure that they know that you're there, that they feel empowered, and that they feel like you are a resource whenever they need you, but not that you're looking over their shoulder to make sure that they're getting everything done correctly. The fifth in this lineup is to be consistent in your feedback. And really what I mean by that is, if you've been telling an employee, I need you to do this, I need you to do it this way, these are my expectations, and then all of a sudden either you go silent or you completely change direction, which sometimes projects have that happen, right? And that's okay, as long as you pause the project and you give them a rationale for why you're changing. But if you're not doing that, then what you really need to do is make sure that you are consistent in the way that you're delivering feedback, in the tones, and even in the content of that feedback, so you're keeping them aligned towards that goal. And the last of the 6 items to hold your team accountable to performance is, they also need you to be decisive. So when someone comes to you and says, I'm stuck, or I've made it this far and I don't know where to go next, the last thing that they need to be able to deliver for you is for you not to be able to decide the next step or what you'd like them to change. So really, when they're coming to you for help like that, what they're looking for is a quick decision, and a decision that feels certain. So they don't want to move in a direction if they feel like you're unsure, because that triggers and indicates to an employee, particularly a junior employee, if my boss isn't sure about that and I do it, am I going to get in trouble? Right? Is it going to be on me when it goes wrong? So what they're looking for is a really decisive, it doesn't have to be overbearing, but a decisive and a quick, yes, you should do this. No, you shouldn't do that. I think you should go in this direction, and here's why. That kind of direction, so that there's a lot of clarity and there's a lot of certainty behind words like that, rather than something like, well, I just don't know. Maybe you should try this. Maybe you should try that. You might feel like you're giving them autonomy when you use those kind of phrases, but it also is going to, for that employee, in the back of their mind, they're going to be saying, well, should I or shouldn't I? And what happens if I do it and it doesn't work out? So those are my 6 tips to hold your team accountable for their performance. Hope you have a great day.